What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about Lucid. Lucid's been gaining some pretty good traction lately. I want to go over some of the key data points, levels that you need to watch for, and the latest in updates. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid is up pre-market 0.34%, so I'm switching it up, doing a little bit of an earlier video. No official news from Lucid itself though, no SEC filings. There's a lot to talk on though, so I'm going to go over that in a second, but you do have initial jobless claims that came out at 219,000. Forecast was 115 or 215, sorry. And it's a little bit harder than anticipated, but market seems to be really liking that right now. So as a byproduct, that's kind of moving it. You have a couple of Fed speakers later today, so that could potentially move the market depending on what they do kind of mention. As far as shorts, they're not really doing anything going into today. 23.14% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 275 million shares. Last 2 days, shorts have been returning, which is abnormal, very, very abnormal for them. So maybe they know something, or maybe it's linked to something that I'm going to be talking on right here. Because there's been a lot of sightings, a lot of posts about, let's say, a mysterious vehicle such as this. And so in general, that could be the second variation of the Gravity, so the touring, or it could be the midsize. Based on this as well, so this individual who has a lot of followers, 178,000 talking on Lucid. So Lucid is working on 3 new cars. It includes a sports coupe and a lower price midsize sedan. So I know a lot of people are saying that this is the Gravity, maybe the second variation, but it does match with this, the overall kind of shape. So I think all in all, maybe this might be the midsize, but regardless, even if it is the second variation of the Gravity or just midsize, it goes to show that they're forward thinking. They're already starting to test and hopefully get all the supply chain and everything in order for that just to kind of hit the ground running. And that's kind of what the market does really want, right? On a negative update though, the latest flyover that came out 13 hours ago regrettably didn't show any gravities. So still kind of stuck in limbo. I guess we can't really blame management and Lucid all that much because they did state that they're going to go slow and steady just to ensure quality is up to standards. And then once everything is there, then they'll really ramp up and kind of push it higher and whatever else. So I guess you can't really blame them, but still it's rather disappointing in my opinion. So it is what it is. That's something that they'll have to kind of talk on during their upcoming earnings on February the 25th. And then one final thing I do want to go over before I just go over technicals, and that was this. So there's a lot of accounts, I've noticed this, and no offense to a lot of individuals, I've seen a lot of big accounts that's like, I don't want to say like pumping Lucid, but they just blindly just say, hey, I know what I'm talking about, like you need to buy it now. That's kind of the moral of the story. And honestly, Lucid has always had those ever since like it was like $20, and I remember like I usually like to kind of correct things. So if something's negative, I bring it up. If something's positive, I bring it up. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I like Lucid. That's why I have a dedicated channel to it. And it's because of the technology. But I know that Lucid does mess up. So I'm not here to say that they're all sunshines and rainbows. So this individual is kind of talking on this. So it's not new information. I've already done a video all about this, how the new upcoming CFO did get awarded shares as RSU, so it's kind of locked in. But I kind of mentioned how it might be a touchy subject because people already think that Peter's overpaid. But nonetheless, though, he did state this. Look up how RSUs work. He was kind of talking to this individual right here. Elon had RSU options for Tesla in 2021. I made 22,000 from 600 when they executed those shares. So I even mentioned saying that you are 100% wrong, just so everyone is aware, because I wanted to kind of clear and make sure people don't just see this and be like, hey, that means that Lucid's going to go up because of this, based on the dates at the very bottom right here. So kind of zoom in, you can kind of, well, I guess you can't zoom in on this. I'll show you. But based on those dates right there, ultimately he's saying that the stock is going to pump because of that. And that's not how RSUs work. RSUs are simply, and all of these issuances, it's registering new shares. It is dilution. Like the only way that would really cause the stock price to go up is sentiment, that people would see that as positive, that a executive is either holding more shares or whatever, and then that could prompt some buying, which I don't see that being possible. So RSUs are dilution. Everything that Peter's received is dilution. What this new individual, I don't want to butcher his name, what he received is dilution, and it does not cause a pump whatsoever. So definitely do your own due diligence at the end of the day. So again, just wanted to kind of bring that up and whatever else. But aside from that though, with it at 293, definitely gaining some good momentum. So it's trading between this pivot and this S1. So 261 is going to be that next strong support. I don't see that being touched for the foreseeable future, possibly up until maybe their earnings, and that might cause some volatility, but that's if they really flop on a lot of the key metrics and don't give good future guidance. And we've seen lately companies hitting the marks, but literally failing to give good future guidance, and they go down like 20%. So the market right now is solely, that is it, they're only looking at future guidance. That seems to be kind of the basis of everything. So even more pressure for Lucid to really say, hey, we're going to do 25,000 in production and X amount is going to be Gravity. So again, that's something to keep in mind. But $3 is going to be a key resistance slash target for you to watch for, hopefully today. Yesterday was 304 the high, so it just needs to get above that. And regrettably, I think shorts were somewhat active a little bit just to bring it down. So it did bring it down below pretty much on this 200-day moving average. So on the actual chart, things are still looking pretty good. Stochastic RSI, you have it rather, it's getting hotter, so it's getting to the overbought status. So that's something just to keep in mind. But I feel like it can easily get above this 295, that 200-day moving average, and then from there it could easily just kind of free to roam as high as it wants, essentially. So yeah, it's just well, I think yesterday it getting dragged down from that $3 mark is a very clear sign that there is still some manipulation. But I think all in all, Lucid's definitely making a lot of good progress. And not only that though, they're looking for at the foreseeable future and hopefully getting all those ducks in a row, so then they can hit the marks and do what they need to do to succeed. So let me know your viewpoint. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What is your general thoughts on this? What do you think that this is? Do you think that this is Gravity, a different variation, Midsize? And for this coupe, do you think that this is something? As far as I'm aware, they haven't announced any of that. So maybe there is a variation of the Air that is coming out with that new questionable quantum battery that that article recently came out stating. So maybe that's it. I don't know. Anything's possible with Lucid, and that's why I invest in Lucid, why I still hold, why I still believe in it, because they are innovating. You're seeing a lot of stocks rather stagnant because they lack innovation. So that's something definitely Lucid is good at. So let me know your viewpoint. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with all that, appreciate all of you watching.